Let's talk about the art of sticking around. Before we do, hit that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so today's topic is the art of sticking around, or at least a phrase that I term as the art of sticking around. I did write a blog about this. It is on the website. You can find that link in our show notes. And thankfully, this particular blog did get published in a few music magazines. I believe it was in SA Drummer, maybe Drum Magazine in the UK, and Guitar Thrills Magazine here in the States. And the basic premise of this idea is just how if you can stick it out, if you can form some longevity, if you can have some tenacity and deal with the ups and downs that this career brings, by default, doors will start to open, opportunities will come. They're not always the opportunities you want, but different opportunities will come. And by having different opportunities, you find different versions of success. So disclaimer here, before I go onto this topic too much, my version of success and your version of success are probably going to be two very different things. You need to define your own. For me, doing music for a living and having the type of life that I have, I don't take it for granted. I'm extremely blessed and grateful for my life. So let's talk about it. The art of sticking around. Again, we've spoken about human nature on this channel, and everybody's different. So I don't expect this advice to apply to everybody. But for me, I've found that sometimes just being able to stay in a situation, provided it's good for your mental health, can sometimes create opportunities that you never knew were there. For example, you might get a call to do a depth type gig with a band you've never played with. So if you have time to learn those songs and you put in a bit of work, you go do the gig thinking it's going to be a one-off. If you do a good enough job for that band, you never know what opportunity can come from that, especially if you don't know the dynamics within a band or group that you are maybe going to fill in for. So you go there, don't get involved in the personal stuff, do as good a job as you can, and see what happens. But if you don't go there with an attitude that, oh, I didn't have time to learn these, oh, I don't like this song, I don't really like that genre, dude, I'm sorry I'm late, try and avoid all the negatives. You might find that by doing that, you get another call. And by doing that, you get another call. And these calls keep leading onto more work. And eventually years have gone by and you are still within that group. And if you stick around long enough, sometimes you'll end up spending longer in that group than some of the members that were in that band when you first started playing with them. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is if you stick around long enough, by default, and without trying to make this devalued in any way, you will be the person that gets the calls. Some people will quit, some people will just stop flat out. And eventually, the people that give other musicians work won't have anybody left to call. And that might be the opening or the opportunity that you've been waiting for. Now, this is just one example, but the same kind of longevity and staying power can lead to different opportunities in any type of job. If you think about how often you hear of these successful people who started in the mailroom. Let me tell you, they didn't just start in the mailroom on Monday and become CEO of those companies by the Friday. That's not how it works. Bands and music are no different. Sometimes you've got to spend some time in the trenches to work your way up. I have some friends who are now MDs in some huge touring bands who started as sidemen. I've done sideman gigs. Let me tell you, you go there, 9 times out of 10, you shut your mouth and you just do the job that is required. And be reliable, of course, but that's a whole different thing. So just having a good attitude and sticking around in a supportive role for the band leader or whatever the project is can help open doors for you, if that's what you want. It requires a little bit of grit, it requires a little bit of determination. But again, if you're comfortable with your self-worth and in your own skin, and you don't feel like you're doing anything that might deteriorate your quality of life, depending on what that is for you, you might find that opportunities will come. I do go more into detail about this on the blog, which you can find in this description. But just maybe think about this way of thinking next time you're having a bad day and thinking about leaving a band. Or maybe you've had a bad gig and you want to walk off stage. There are ways to do it. There are ways that you don't have to burn bridges. And sometimes if you just take a few breaths and calm down, you might stick around a little longer. I hope you're getting something from this. If you are, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. My name is Travis Mark. I will see you on the next one.